Hey guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to do my 5-month VSG update. But before we get into it, make sure you are subscribed to my channel and you have the notification bell turned on so you know when I upload. And if you like this kind of content, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And now let's get into it. So as of yesterday, I am now 5 months post-op from my gastric sleeve surgery, or VSG, vertical sleeve gastrectomy, my weight loss surgery. And let me go ahead and start by telling you where my stats are at. If you saw my last video, my vitamin video, they actually have not changed. I just made that video a couple of days ago, and I think I'm going through a little bit of a stall. My weight loss kind of tends to go through like little mini stalls. It's kind of strange. I'll lose like quite a bit of weight, like 2 pounds within like one day, and then the next day I'll gain it all back, or almost all of it, and then it'll take me like a week to get back to where I was when I initially lost that 2 pounds. Does that make sense? So I feel like my weight loss is almost kind of like crawling at a staircase kind of like pattern right now. It's a little strange, but it is what it is. So if you saw that video, you would have seen that I am down 68 pounds from my highest weight, and from the time that I had surgery, I am down 51 pounds. So like I said, exactly the same from a couple of days ago. Hopefully tomorrow when I step on the scale, it will be a little bit lower. Yes, I am the kind of person that does step on the scale every single day. It's just how I am right now. Probably once I get a little bit further out from my surgery, I won't be stepping on it every single day. And I'm trying not to let it like eat at my head too much by, you know, like the little staircase kind of thing that I'm going on right now. If I'm up a little bit, that's okay. I understand that I am following my doctor's plan, so there's no reason why it shouldn't, you know, eventually within the next few days start to come back down. It's just how my body is. I do really like to keep track and step on the scale, but like I said, I don't think I will be doing the daily weigh-ins forever, just for now while I'm losing my weight. And as far as different updates go, I do have a little list going on my phone here, so if you see me looking down, that is why. And the first thing I wanted to talk about is loose skin. I have had a couple of people reach out and ask me how my loose skin is doing, and I have to be honest, my loose skin really isn't too bad at this point. I mean, it's there. I mean, I can definitely like pinch my skin if I really try, like around my stomach area, but it's really not too bad. I'm not like super embarrassed by it. It's not hanging, thankfully, or anything like that. And I'm wearing like a long sleeve shirt, but my arms are doing pretty good right now as well, which I'm super thankful about. But yeah, as far as loose skin goes, mine is very minimal at this point. Knock on wood, it stays that way and continues to, you know, tighten up, and I'm not doing anything special to any of my skin or anything to like try and help firm it up or anything. Sometimes I'll put lotion on, but I don't usually put it on my stomach. I will put it on my arms. No special kind of lotion, just like I think what I'm using right now, like First Aid Beauty. That's what I'm using because that's what I have. Like I said, nothing special. But I do feel at this point I'm very, very lucky in that department, because I have heard, you know, from so many people talking about how their loose skin really gets in the way and everything, and that just has not been the case for me at this point. If I go ahead and lose more weight, I'm sure it will become a little bit more of a problem, but based on the way my body has been responding, I don't know that I would ever qualify for a like a tummy tuck, skin removal, panulectomy, or whatever it's called. At least as far as like my insurance would be concerned. I don't know that I ever will get to that point where they would approve me and pay for me to have my excess skin removed. It would be nice. I mean, I wouldn't say no to a tummy tuck even right now, but you know, I don't know that that really would be in my future. Maybe, you know, we'll cross that line when it comes to it. And if down the line, if I feel like I do want to go see a plastic surgeon and talk to them about it and see where my insurance would be at, then I will, because I don't think there's any way that I could do that kind of surgery without insurance. But as far as loose skin is concerned for a weight loss patient, I feel mine is really, really minimal. Then I've got a couple of little things that I have noticed over the last month that I just wanted to kind of touch on, just really so I kind of remember about this. So I did, like, this is going to be really, really weird. For the longest time, I had like this crease on the back of my neck, like kind of like right in here. I mean, you might still be able to kind of see it, but you could feel it. And it was kind of like this rough texture. It was just this one little line of rough textured skin, and it's like right like where my neck bends if I like go like this. And I tend to sleep on my left side, so I feel like my neck probably kind of moves a little bit and kind of like creases when I'm sleeping. But that is gone. It's very, very strange. And I have to attribute it to my weight loss surgery and losing all of this weight. I think probably just because there's not, as much bulge in the back there. Is that the right way to say it? I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like it's gone. It's very strange. And it has been there for probably 8, 9, 10, maybe even more years. It's been there forever and it's just completely gone. So that's kind of exciting. Not that anyone would ever see that or notice that except me, because I always wear my hair down. Not that that was the reason why I always wear my hair down. I have a lot of reasons why I never put my hair up. And that was very, very low down on the list. I really didn't care if anybody saw that. I don't even honestly know what it looked like. I just know what it felt like. But yeah, it's gone. Very, very strange. It's completely smooth now here on my skin. And it's not like it was something that would like come and go, like a little bit of a rash or anything. It was there constantly for probably close to 10 years, if not even a little bit more. And it's just like completely gone away. So that was very strange and kind of a cool little thing that I noticed recently. And then, also, I was at a birthday party for one of my son's friends recently, and it was just at my friend's house, and she was taking pictures of the party and everything, like not a big deal. It was a really cute, like little Halloween themed party. And of course she posted pictures of the party like the next day on Facebook, and I'm in the background of a couple of them. And before I had my surgery, before I lost all of this weight, I cringed at the thought of being in the background of a picture, because obviously not being aware that a picture is being taken, you're not using your best angles, you're not, trying to hide your pooch or, stand in a strategic way to make you look the best. It's just, a picture, you have no control over it. And I was in the background of a couple of the pictures that she posted on Facebook, and much to my surprise, I didn't hate them. Like, I actually thought I looked decent. I was so shocked, but like so pleasantly surprised. Like, I was like, oh, that's what I really look like, because, even when I post on Facebook or on Instagram or anything, I do, just naturally for me, try to give my best angles. And over the years, I have learned what my better angles are and trying to work those into the picture so I do look my best. I'm not even going to hide that. I don't think I've ever hid that yes, of course, I try to look my best in my pictures. Seeing those pictures where I absolutely had no control over them in the background and not completely hate them was like a really, really good, big non-scale victory for me. Like, I just couldn't believe like how little I hated them. Like, I didn't even hate them. I actually really thought I looked fine, like good almost. Like, that's just blowing my mind. So crazy that I didn't like hate those pictures. So that, like I said, was a really big non-scale victory for me. Not one that I ever like even thought about wanting to have or anything, but that was just a really cool moment. And I looked at those pictures for a minute and I was just like, all right, yeah, I'm good. I'm doing really, really good. So yeah, that was just like a little tidbit that I wanted to share. So if you're in your journey, just know that if you're going to be in the background of a picture, one day you won't totally hate it. All right, now moving on to something that I did totally hate this last month, and that is dumping syndrome. Yes, you've probably heard about dumping syndrome if you've ever looked into getting weight loss surgery for yourself. It's definitely, from what I've heard, more common for gastric bypass patients than sleeve patients. And what I experienced, I'm not even 100% sure that it was dumping, but I had all of the symptoms. So it was very strange. This happened a couple of weeks ago. I felt completely fine all day. I went to bed that night, and a couple hours later, after I had gone to bed, again, I was feeling completely fine. I woke up in the middle of the night with an awful stomach ache. Like, my stomach was absolutely killing me. Tried to brush it off, just tried to go back to sleep because I was exhausted. I really didn't want to be awake at that point, but I eventually did make my way to the bathroom and I puked. And since there was nothing in my stomach, it was just bile and it burned my throat so bad. And not only did I puke, but stuff came out the other end as well. It was an absolute pleasant experience, right? No, it was absolutely awful. I started to feel dizzy. I felt flushed, like kind of almost like I had a hot flash. I just felt very disoriented on top of being extremely exhausted at that point. And I was probably in the bathroom just making sure that I was okay for a good 45 minutes, maybe even a little bit longer, just to make sure that I was okay. I wasn't like puking the entire time. I really only puked a little bit, probably just because there was nothing in my stomach. But like I said, it was just a very, very strange experience, especially because it happened so long after I had eaten anything. And the day before, the only new thing that I had eaten was a Wendy's side salad. That night for dinner, my husband went out. I don't even remember what we ate for dinner that night, but my husband had wanted a salad. We didn't have any in the house, so he just went over to Wendy's and grabbed a couple of side salads for us. My husband and my 8-year-old son also had one. I probably had about a quarter of the dressing that they gave you in the little packets that they have. I had none of the croutons, and then I think on the salad there was also like some Parmesan cheese, and then I also ate just the lettuce. I didn't eat the tomatoes that came on it. That was the only new food that I had eaten that day. Everything else I ate was just the stuff that I eat over and over and over again at this point. So very strange, you know, especially because I'd had that salad with dinner and I didn't get sick until 2 a.m. I don't know. And part of me did think that maybe it was just food poisoning, but neither my son or my husband got sick. So I don't know. I'm really quite confused about the timing of the whole thing. There is something called delayed dumping syndrome, but from what I remember, that does not really include puking or diarrhea. It's just like the disoriented, flush, just awful feeling. So I don't know, maybe it was dumping, maybe it wasn't. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, either way, it was not a pleasant experience, and I have not had a Wendy's salad again. I will say I have had a Chick-fil-A side salad many times since I've had surgery, and I've had no problems with those. Those are so delicious. I love the crispy red pepper things that they give you instead of croutons. Those are like so good. So I figured eating one from Wendy's would be like no problem. Of course, I did check the carbs on the salad dressing before I ate it. Like I said, I only had like a quarter of the entire packet, which is one serving. So I had, you know, like a quarter of a serving. And so I really, you know, there was hardly any carbs in it to begin with. So I don't know what's going on with that. But like I said, I'm not going to be eating a Wendy's salad anytime soon. And then just yesterday morning, I threw up again. It wasn't quite as bad. I didn't get that flushed feeling. I didn't get any kind of like disorientation or anything. But it was right in the morning after I had woken up. I had had my breakfast, which I eat those like little cheese crisp things. I'm still on those. Those are really great. And then a little while later, I did go ahead and have my multivitamin. Maybe it was the multivitamin that gave me some trouble, but I haven't had any issues with those particular multivitamins in the past. But a little while later, after I had had the multivitamin, my stomach like turned like that. It happened so fast. Literally 1 minute I was fine, and then the next minute I was bolting to the bathroom to make sure that I didn't puke all over the floor. Like, it really happened fast, and it was only a one-time thing. So again, I don't know what that was. Very strange. Maybe my multivitamin that had never given me any troubles before. I didn't have any issues with it today. I did go ahead and take it this morning and there was no problem. So very strange. I don't know. But I did want to, you know, put that out there. And I have heard on different Facebook groups and stuff that I'm in that some people do throw up a lot after surgery. So this wasn't like completely out of the blue or unheard of for it to happen to me. It's just, it had not happened to me. The first time I threw up since my surgery was the couple of weeks ago when I woke up in the middle of the night. And then this yesterday was just the second time. So a little bit strange for me, but in the grand scheme of a gastric sleeve, it's definitely pretty common, I feel. And then the very last thing that I wanted to quickly touch on today is alcohol. Now, my doctor told me that I need to stay away from alcohol for an entire year after my surgery. So I'm not supposed to drink until June of 2020. I think the last time I drank before my surgery was like 3 days before I started my liquid diet. I remember my husband and I had gone out to lunch and I got a beer that day just because I could, and I knew that I wouldn't be drinking for a really long time. So I'd not drank since before my surgery up until a few days ago. Gotta be honest, I did go out with a few friends the other night and I did have a glass of wine. Actually, like a week before we went out, I did test it at my house just to make sure that I would be okay. I had this little wine cube in my fridge that had just been sitting there forever, so I went ahead and poured myself a glass one night and I drank like a third of it over like 3 hours. So I hardly had any. I really did feel guilty just like sitting on my couch drinking a glass of wine knowing that I really shouldn't. I really just ended up drinking like the tiniest little amount. It didn't give me any troubles at all. And then when I went out the other night with my friends, I did decide to go ahead and order a glass of wine. Of course, everybody was drinking, and no, I don't have to drink, but I just like to, you know, every once in a while. I've always just been a social drinker. I never drink that much. It's always been, you know, just maybe a once or twice a month thing for me. So I felt okay going ahead and ordering a glass of wine. I ordered a Chardonnay. Of course, before I went, I did do a lot of research and tried to find out what kind of alcohol would be the best for a weight loss surgery patient. There wasn't actually a whole lot of information on that, if I remember correctly. So I went ahead and Googled like keto alcohol, like stuff that people on keto can drink, and And dry white wine was definitely on those lists of being something that was quite low in sugar, quite low in carbs, so I went ahead and ordered a Chardonnay. As far as red wine goes, I'm not sure which one would be considered lower in carbs. I'm personally not a fan of red wine. I always go for white. So I just went ahead and ordered one glass. It took me like 2.5 hours to drink the whole thing. So I definitely sipped it over a while. I had quite a bit of water before I got the wine. And then when I got home that night, I also drank a lot of water. As far as my stomach went, and handled it perfectly fine, though surprisingly, I did wake up with a major headache the next day. One glass of wine has never given me a major headache. So I was really, really surprised about that. I guess it's been a really long time since I've gone 4 months or 5 months without any alcohol. The last time that probably happened was when I was pregnant with my daughter 2.5 years ago. But it's not like I've never gone that long without any alcohol. And I did not feel drunk at all. I should also say that. I know a lot of people have said that, alcohol will go through you and get you a lot drunker a lot faster after having weight loss surgery. I didn't feel like I was drunk at all. Maybe slightly buzzed, but just very, very slightly. So the fact that I had a really, really gnarly headache that day, like the day before or the day after that morning, was quite a surprise to me. But I was very, very thankful that I have that prescription for Celebrex, like I talked about in my last update. That was only like the 3rd Celebrex that I had taken. So I've been really, really good about not taking that stuff too much. Just really when I need it, and I don't think a Tylenol will work, because I have taken Tylenol a couple of times as well over the last month, but I knew this past Saturday morning like that Tylenol was not going to cut it for me. I really, really needed that Celebrex to just knock it out, which it did. All right, so I think that's everything that I need to update you guys on for this month. For the most part, everything's going really, really well. Just the dumping syndrome, maybe-ish thing, whatever that was, and then yesterday morning as well with that random puking. I don't know, those were not fun, but I wouldn't trade my tiny little tummy for anything, even those horrible moments. It's still definitely worth it. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Feel free to like this video if you like this kind of content. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram as well. My link will be listed down below. I can post over there a lot more than I can post here on YouTube. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!